Good evening and welcome to ICU TV Main News. Here are the stories making headlines. ACC arrests 12 in 8.8 million kwacha Slimp corruption probe. Government condemns defamatory campaign messages. Zambia records 3.5 billion kwacha trade surplus in April. In international news, 16 students killed in boarding school fire in Kenya. And in sports news, Copper Princesses head to Lubumbashi with 5-0 first leg lead. With the news detail, my name is Amina Mutambo. The Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested and charged 3 Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock officials for corruption involving over 8.8 million kwacha linked to sustainable livestock infrastructure management projects. The latest arrests bring the total number of suspects in the case to 12. ACC says the officials are being investigated for alleged misappropriation of part of the $10 million Slimp funds. Among them is Principal Livestock Production Officer Grace Lungu 47, who faces 16 counts of fraudulent false accounting involving over 750,000 kwacha, as well as possession of suspected proceeds of crime, including a house and government bonds. Others include Senior Livestock Production Officer Troy Bhanyimbo 42 and Assistant Director Kabemba Mwambilwa 48, who are accused of corruptly acquiring public funds worth millions of kwacha and possessing properties suspected to be proceeds of crime, including luxury vehicles. Mwambila is also facing additional charges of abuse of authority. The SEC says all suspects have been released on bond and are expected to appear in court soon, with investigations still ongoing. The Commission says more arrests are expected as the probe continues, with suspected assets linked to the case now valued at over 124 million kwacha, including vehicles, houses, and farms and bonds. Government has expressed concern over the emergence of campaign materials, including songs and other messaging tools, which it says promote unsubstantiated and offensive allegations against individuals and groups in the political arena. In a statement, government said democracy should be built on constructive debate, competing ideas, and free expression of policies, and not on defamatory claims and inflammatory accusations. It warned that allegations such as satanism and tribal discrimination are serious matters that should only be handled through lawful judicial processes supported by credible evidence. Government further stated that the spread of unverified accusations threatens national unity, undermines the rule of law, and shifts attention away from meaningful electoral issues. It has since called for responsible political engagement ahead of elections.
Grave concern that political parties now will resort to making campaign songs that border on accusing their political competition or political opponents, accusations that can only be proved in a court of law, and accusations that can only be uttered after having been proved in courts of law. It is not correct to start churning out songs or campaign songs that are calling your competition, your political opponents as Satanists, as tribalists, as dividing the country based on tribalism, based on Satanism, and referring so badly to other people. That is not correct. I woke up this morning and I was listening to a campaign song for I don't know which political party it is, whether it's Tonse or whether it's, but the song is talking about Honorable Brian Mundubile and Honorable Makebi Zulu and so on. And it's a very divisive song. And I want to take the opportunity to urge those responsible, the regulators responsible for monitoring such to ensure that they take a good listen to the message in there, so that such messages and such songs should not be allowed airplay. We run a country that is united. We owe all a duty to foster unity in the country. It is not correct to begin to accuse others of tribalism, others of satanism and so on, and things that you cannot prove, and you deliberately get them and put them in a song. Even you as artists ought to be careful, because if tomorrow you are told you are the one who sang that these people are satanists, these people are tribalists, these people are this, they are that, and you are asked to and put to proof, you will fail. So some of these things, let's just campaign, let political parties and players campaign. If you are in opposition, tell the people what you intend to come and do for them. If you are in the ruling party, tell the people what you have done for them so far and what you intend to come and do for them going forward. There is no need to start accusing each other or putting in songs accusations that can only be put or done so if they have been proved before a court of law, or that need to be taken before a court of law to be proved. So let's foster peace, let's foster unity, let's play clean politics.
Zambia recorded a trade surplus of 3.5 billion kwacha in April 2026, up from the 900 million surplus recorded in March, according to the latest International Merchandise Trade report released by the Zambia Statistics Agency, ZAMSTATS. ZAMSTATS statistician General Sheila Mudenda said total exports increased by 1.5% from 12 billion kwacha in March to 25.4 billion kwacha in April, driven by high earnings from raw materials and capital goods. She added that imports declined by 9.3% from 24.1 billion kwacha to 21.9 billion kwacha due to reduced import bills for consumer goods and raw materials. Ms. Mudenda further revealed that traditional export earnings, mainly copper, declined by 6.8%, while non-traditional exports increased by 20.9% to 9 billion kwacha. Canada emerged as Zambia's largest export destination in April, followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo and China. We take our first set of commercials, more local stories coming up.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back. Now in our local stories, the government has launched the digital migration of Lusaka City Council onto the ZAM portal, allowing residents and businesses to access council services online at any time. The system removes the need for long queues and reduces delays in accessing key municipal services. The new e-council platform, citizens can now pay for services such as market fees, bus station charges, billboards, health permits, fire certificates, and other levies digitally. The move is aimed at improving convenience, increasing efficiency, and reducing cash handling in council operations. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Dr. Gabriel Paulen said the system will modernize service delivery and improve transparency in revenue collection. He added that institutions such as Smart Zambia Institute have supported the rollout as government pushes for fully digital and accountable local government systems. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has started distributing more than 200,000 mobile phones to elderly beneficiaries under the Social Cash Transfer Program. Ministry Principal Public Relations Officer Glenda Nachinga says the initiative targets elderly beneficiaries who do not own mobile phones and is part of government's digital transformation agenda aimed at improving access to social cash transfer through digital platforms. Ms. Nachinga says the program currently supports over 1.5 million beneficiary households across 116 districts countrywide, with 89% already receiving payments through mobile money and banking systems. She added that the funds will help reduce dependency and challenges faced by elderly beneficiaries when accessing their payments. You're still watching ICU TV Main News. We take a break. Coming up, international news. Welcome back. Now in international news, at least 16 students have died following a fire that broke out at Utumishi Girls Academy in Gilgil, about 120 kilometers northwest of Nairobi in Kenya. Education Minister Julius Ogamba said dozens of other students were injured and taken to hospital, with 71 later discharged and 7 admitted for further treatment. He said the cause of the fire, which started in the early hours while students were asleep, has not yet been established and investigations are ongoing. Officials say the blaze broke out on the first floor of a dormitory, which was completely destroyed before firefighters managed to bring it under control around 03 hours. Authorities have since begun releasing students to their families as parents continue to gather at the school awaiting information on their children. Still in international news, the United States has carried out what is described as defensive strikes on an Iranian military site, saying it was targeting a location that posed a threat to U.S. forces and maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. In response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says it's launched an attack on an American airbase and has warned of further action if what it calls U.S. aggression continues. The escalation comes amid rising tensions between Washington and Tehran over security in the Gulf region. Meanwhile, the Israeli military has issued forced displacement orders for the entire population of southern Lebanon, with reports of troops across the strategically tiny river and clashing with Hezbollah. Aid agencies have warned of a worsening humanitarian crisis, describing the situation in southern Lebanon as an absolute catastrophe, amid continued bombardments and ground operations. We take our last break. Coming up, sports news. Welcome back, and now in sports news. The Zambia women's under-17 national team has traveled to Lubumbashi ahead of the second leg of their FIFA Women's World Cup Morocco 2026 qualifier. Zambia carries a commanding 5-0 advantage from the first leg played at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Dola on 23rd May. The return match is set for 31st May at Stade Frederick Kibisa Maliba in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Copper Princesses will be aiming to finish the job away from home and progress to the next qualifying round, where they will face the winner between Ethiopia and Burundi. That sports item brings us to the end of our main news, but before we go, a quick recap of the stories that made headlines. ACC arrests 12 in 8.8 million kwacha Slimp corruption probe. Government condemns defamatory campaign messages. Zambia records 3.5 billion trade surplus in April. In international news, 16 students killed in boarding school fire in Kenya. And in sports news, Copper Princesses head to Lubumbashi with 5-0 first leg leads. Thank you so much for watching the ICU TV main news. For more news updates, do stay glued to our Facebook page, ICU TV, and our ICU Zambia YouTube channel. Have a good night.